deadlift. The difference between a deadlift and a squat is that for a deadlift, we're hinging. So you're still taking your hips behind you, you're still bending your knees, but you're not gonna be going as deep as a squat. And since you're hinging, your chest will come a bit farther forward. So I'm gonna use one dumbbell. You can also use a kettlebell. Kettlebells are great for deadlifts. But I'm gonna use this, I have my dumbbell vertical. My dumbbells are a little bit long since they're the kind that can change weights. A regular dumbbell I think works better here, but this is what I have. So regardless, you're gonna be in line with your weight. So think about your heels, your feet, right in line with your weight. Because I want you to really stick your butt back, okay? And this is gonna force you to do that. So slight bend in the knees, shove your hips back, chest comes forward. Exhale, pick up your weight. Inhale, back down. So you'll see I have a bend in my knees and my butt is behind me, but this isn't a squat where my chest is still tall and my butt is closer to the floor. This is a hinged position, okay? So my hips are just coming back and through. I like to kind of reset the weight each time, meaning instead of just tapping the floor with a weight and going kind of quickly, I like to let it hit the floor, so I'm picking it up each time. For me, that helps me keep it in my legs, in my core, and not cheat and use my low back, because it's really easy to kind of go quick and use your low back here, but we want to use your legs and your hips, okay? You can, if you want to make it harder, one way to make it harder is to grab your weight like this, so you do just have to hinge a little bit farther forward. So going down farther, come up. So from my tailbone to my top of my head, I'm staying in a strong line. I'm not rounding, and I'm also not super arching. Okay? You might find that your dumbbell isn't heavy enough by itself, and if that's the case, you can use two dumbbells. So you would just have two set up side by side. These are obviously not the same weight. That's okay, pretend they are. And then it'd be the same thing. You'd grab them, pick them up, set them back down. Okay, that's a way to make it a little heavier. One thing I've seen in deadlifts over the years is that clients have a hard time really reaching their butt back. Stick your butt out, it's okay. One thing that can help to practice is standing about a foot away from a wall, slight bend in your knees, hinge, tap your butt onto the wall. This can be a great way to practice because it's going to force you to really sit back on your heels and find that hinge position. My final deadlift note is to use your exhale. So really use your breath here, all right? Inhale forward, exhale to stand up. It can be helpful to start exhaling even before you pick up that weight or start the movement. That can be really helpful if you're having any pelvic floor symptoms, because it really is gonna help engage your deep core muscles, okay? So I set up in front of my weight, inhale on the way down, exhale, inhale down, exhale. Another breath strategy to play around with is just exhaling throughout the entire movement. If you find that this is challenging to your pelvic floor or your core or your low back, exhale the whole time. So I'll inhale at the top, exhale to start the movement, inhale at the top, so that's just another strategy. One final deadlift note. I know I have a lot of notes on the deadlift. This is a big exercise. Have your arms be straight as you're picking up your weight. If you have any slack in your arms, what tends to happen is the neck, shoulders, and low back get more involved than they need to be. So even though your arms are holding this weight, this is a lower body and a trunk exercise. The arms are just there to hold the weight, okay? So I line up in front of my, or in line with my weight, stick my butt back, straight arms, strong position through my shoulder blades all the way down to my butt. Stand up. So even though I let the weight rest on the floor, I'm not letting my arms get all loosey-goosey. So in fact, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe we're just gonna call this a full body exercise because you really are incorporating everything, but the legs and the trunk are the main drivers here.